Welcome back to Football Attention, where we get your attention back on football. Settle in as we run through the breaking news. Today, we are diving deeper into the unfolding saga of Lucas Paquetá as he looks to make a significant move back to his roots. Here's everything you need to know about this developing story. Lucas Paquetá, currently at West Ham United in England, has expressed a desire to leave the club to move on in January. He is eager to return to Brazil for personal reasons. Paquetá was not part of West Ham's recent FA Cup tie against QPR, with reports suggesting he even asked to skip the match, signalling his desire to return home. Encouraged by the player's desire to move, Flamengo submitted a €35 million transfer offer, which was rejected outright. However, Flamengo are not deterred and reports state they are ready to up the offer to €40 million. Lucas Paquetá, the highly talented Brazilian midfielder at West Ham United, recently made headlines by requesting to sit out the FA Cup match against QPR. This decision, confirmed by The Guardian, hints at his strong desire to leave the club, citing unhappiness and mental strain. Renowned journalist Fabrizio Romano has backed these claims, highlighting ongoing interest from Tottenham, Aston Villa and Flamengo and the successful negotiation of personal terms with the Brazilian giants. Tottenham are rumoured to be ready with a £50 million offer, which is a price West Ham are rumoured to be more willing to accept, but the chances of Paquetá agreeing to move to a fellow struggling Premier League team, with Spurs in 14th, only 13 points above the West Ham and with a manager under pressure to keep his job, are close to none. Add to this West Ham being willing to sell one of their best players to a London rival sitting so close to their current position is also not likely. Should the Brazilian, and his club, agree to a Premier League move, it is more likely to be to a team in the top 8 positions. A team that would be willing to meet West Ham's valuation of the player and offering a significant increase in wages that would turn midfielders' head. Of the clubs in that echelon, Aston Villa and Chelsea are reported to have interest in the player, considering that he is reportedly willing to take a pay cut to join his boyhood club. Even that may not be enough to convince Paquetá to stay in England. Paquetá is currently one of the Hammers' longest-serving active players, with over 100 matches for the Irons, underlining the turmoil at the club in recent years. With massive player turnover and 3 managers this season, West Ham are rooted to the bottom 3 places and in real danger of relegation to the Championship. Relegation would be a disaster for the West London club, who just a few seasons ago were competing in Europe and lifted the European Conference League trophy, with Paquetá instrumental, in 2023. It can be honestly said that the current West Ham team is a shadow of the team that Paquetá signed with over 3 years ago, with only 5 players remaining from their European triumph in Prague. Signed in 2022, by David Moyes with West Ham playing in Europe and on the way up, Paquetá is playing under his 3rd manager this season, with West Ham sitting 7 points from safety, with 3 wins and 14 points. His time in England has been marred by a long-running investigation into alleged betting breaches lasting over 2 years. The emotional toll was significant, as Paquetá shared, describing the strain on his personal life and family. At the time, he was close to securing a £80 million plus ad-ONS move to Manchester City, with personal terms agreed, but the allegations surfaced before the deal could be finalised and City pulled the offer. Paquetá suffered mentally during the investigation and is yet to fully rediscover his best form for West Ham since being cleared in 2025. Despite the club's support during his legal troubles, Paquetá feels it's time to move on, and sources indicate there's no chance he will stay next season. Paquetá has made his desires known to the club, but is also wary of forcing the issue after West Ham's strong support. West Ham, currently embroiled in a relegation battle, is hesitant to part ways with Paquetá midway through the season. They see him as a crucial asset. His creativity on the field could prove pivotal as they vie to climb out of the Premier League's bottom 3. Despite his struggles this season, including a red card against Liverpool, they are hesitant to let him go mid-season. The club values his contribution as they fight to stay in the Premier League. Paquetá's camp has reportedly agreed on personal terms with Flamengo, with Rock Nation Sports backing him. However, West Ham remains reluctant to approve a January transfer, fearing the impact on their already unbalanced squad. Flamengo has made a substantial offer, but West Ham has turned it down, hoping to keep Paquetá until at least the season's end. Meanwhile, Tottenham has shown interest, especially with their need to strengthen the midfield due to Rodrigo Bentancur's injury. However, the Brazilian's preference is clear. He is unhappy in England and wants to return to his boyhood club, a sentiment he has expressed passionately. West Ham manager Nuno Espirito Santo finds himself at a crossroads. While he wants to retain Paquetá, the player's strong desire to leave could force a decision. His performances have not been up to standard, so selling Paquetá might allow West Ham to reinvest in their squad, possibly easing their relegation fears, but the best transfer fees would likely come from a fellow Premier League club, which could strengthen a rival, and the player is unlikely to agree. However, keeping a disenchanted player could disrupt team morale. The Portuguese manager has been backed in the transfer market during January, and there is plenty of movement already. Niklas Füllkrug and Luis Guilherme have departed West Ham United already this month, with Guido Rodriguez, Callum Wilson, James Ward-Prowse, Mads Hermansen and Paquetá potentially still to follow. Additions have already been made, with Nuno having brought Tady Castellanos and Pablo Felipe to West Ham. In addition, he is also after Brazilian goalkeeper Bento from the Saudi Pro League and is battling Leeds United for 20-year-old RB Leipzig centre-back El Shaddai Bitshiabu to shore up the defence. With such an overhaul of the playing squad going on during January, it may be wise for the Hammers to cash in on Paquetá and bring in players more suited to a relegation battle and Nuno's typical counter-attacking approach. Fresh players may also bring a fresh attitude to a squad that is struggling at the moment. An angle that hasn't been mentioned is the midfielder's desire to be part of the selection for Brazil at the World Cup in USA, Mexico and Canada later this year. Although the Premier League is the apex of the footballing ecosystem, playing for a team that is on track for 6 wins out of 38 games this season does not put a player in the best position leading into a World Cup. Paquetá is fortunate that there is not a lot of competition for his best position at the point of the midfield, but he could still miss the plane to North America should West Ham continue on their current trajectory. Playing in the Brazilian Serie A may not be the Premier League, but playing for a top team, a team in the running for both the Championship and Continental titles, is surely better for World Cup hopes than struggling in East London. Paquetá is a player with passion. He clearly loves football and has a real joy exude from him. You only need to type his name into YouTube to see the collections of his dancing celebrations and just dancing in general. That passion and love is something that has been missing from his game, replaced by the type of frustration seen in his red card against Liverpool, his one and only red card in his time in the Premier League. Perhaps going back to where it all started and rediscovering his passion for Flamengo and their fans may just bring his best. Paquetá's future remains uncertain, balancing on a knife edge between West Ham's willingness to negotiate and the player's determination to leave. His contract runs until 2027, but the pressure to facilitate a move is mounting. Whether he ends up back in Flamengo's iconic red and black or makes a shock move to Tottenham, this story is far from over. This story is developing fast, and the pressure is on West Ham. Will they hold on to Paquetá, or will he don the Flamengo jersey once more? Stay tuned for updates. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think West Ham will let Paquetá leave in January to a European club, or before March to Brazil? Do you think he will go to Flamengo or another team? Do you think the addition of Paquetá will make Flamengo favourites to retain the Libertadores in 2026 and maybe go one step further than 2025 and win the Mundial? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for your attention, and if you made it this far in the video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It costs nothing to do and it really helps. Stay tuned for more updates.